G'day folks, welcome back to Shotgun Versus. Today's video is going to be a little different. I'm not going to be showing any shooting videos today. What I'd like to do is address a few things that have come up in the course of me making these videos. Specifically, a few questions that have come up. The two big ones I'm going to look at right now are, what do I use beyond the shotgun itself, and what sort of explosives am I using in my videos? So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the actual shot itself. The shot that we're using, this is an empty hull. The shot that we use here at Shotgun Versus is number 2 steel birdshot. It is a Magnum shell for a 12 gauge shotgun. I chose steel birdshot because it's more common, at least in my area, as far as waterfowl hunting, goose hunting, that sort of thing. It's the most common birdshot you can find around here in hardware stores and hunting stores, that sort of thing. And I wanted to try steel because steel doesn't pack the same kind of weight that lead birdshot does. So if a Magnum steel birdshot cloud can go through something, a Magnum lead birdshot cloud will absolutely go through something. So basically it's a way of giving the target the best chance. The reason I don't use a standard shell, the reason I use a Magnum shell, is simply because, again, that's what I have found to be the most common around here. Most people use Magnum or Super Magnum for birdshot. Now, my 870 can't handle Super Magnum, it doesn't have the right receiver, so I use Magnum. So that's the kind of shot we use. Number 2 steel birdshot. And when I first started this series, I figured that the score was going to be a lot closer to even than it's been. Granted, it's a shotgun and it's close range, but this stuff is still going way beyond what I thought it would be capable of. So the next round of targets, I'm very excited to see what we're going to see. Speaking of which, the list of upcoming targets that we're doing next is going to be branching out into some more unusual stuff, including a laptop, which some people might argue is very similar to the monitor, but I would say that the monitor has a lot more metal in it than a laptop does. Laptops are more plastic. Circuit boards, casing, that sort of thing. So I'd be interested to see what kind of differences we see with a laptop versus a monitor. I'm going to be testing testing actual stone, a sidewalk brick. It's actually in my kit right now for hauling out to the range, but the brick's about this big, about that thick. It's not one solid piece of stone, so I think it'll be interesting to see if the cloud of birdshot can actually, put a crack in it or cause it to break apart, or if it just weathers it no problem. You're going to be looking at a frying pan, which is going to be a little more dangerous than some of my other targets, because the frying pan, the one we're using, it isn't cast iron, it's stainless steel. So if there's a potential for ricochet, so we'll be using a lot of safety equipment for that. We've got a barrier for the camera crew and any visitors that come along, and I'll have safety equipment as well. Because if the shots do come ricocheting back, that's not something you want to be in front of. We're also going to be taking a look at the Destroyer of Feet. I've got 3 different small walls of Lego that I've put together from my scrap Lego collection, and we'll see if the destroyer feet can hold up against birdshot. So that one's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that one. Let's see, what else have we got lined up? We have the metal cash box. You see them at fairs and small stores all the time. It's the little metal lock box for keeping cash in, and change and coins, and they're lockable, that sort of thing. So that'll be an interesting one, sort of a reinforced metal box. So we'll see if it can punch its way through that. I was going to be trying one of the smallest targets we've ever had on the show, which is a combination lock. This one is going to be really interesting because of the size of the target. It might take me a couple of attempts to actually hit it with the bulk of the shot. If I hit it with a pellet or two, that's not really going to show much. I want to try to hit it with the bulk of the shot. So that one's going to be interesting because it's going to be challenging. Because at the range that we shoot at, as I've mentioned in a couple of my videos, we shoot at about 10 to 15 feet, which is what I consider home defense range. That's where people are going to be in a home defense scenario, or an urban scenario where everything else has failed and this is what it's come to. So at 10 to 15 feet, the shot doesn't have time to really spread out, which is why it's hitting as hard as it does. So it acts more like a punch. But that also means that instead of getting a pattern like this, I'm looking at a pattern like this. So it's more akin to shooting with a slug than a wide spray of shot. So it might take me a couple of tries to hit the lock, but I'm going to give it my best shot, and I'm curious to see what will happen. So the second question has to do with what kind of explosives am I using? And the answer to that is actually very simple. What we use here at the channel is called a Firebird exploding target. They're available for purchase by anyone. You can get them at hardware stores, hunting stores, that sort of thing. And what they are is basically, this is a deactivated one, as you can probably guess. They're a metal container. There's a little sticker on the back. That's how we adhere the targets to whatever we're sticking them to. And it's got a metal plate with a sticker on the front. The sticker on the front, if you were to remove it on an active one, is what keeps the explosive in the plate. In here, you would see a smattering of gray paste-like stuff. And that's the actual physical explosive. It's an impact explosive known as tannerite, which is civilian legal in this country, my home country of Canada. And basically, if you apply enough force to it, either by weight or by speed, you got to hit it with enough power, it goes off. And I've been using these things for a while now, even before I started the channel, just when I was doing my regular target shooting, and I absolutely adore them. They pack a surprising punch. You wouldn't think that a little thing like this, with a little bit of tannerite in it, would do much. But if you look at some of my previous videos, you can see what one of these will do. For example, here's what one of these things will do to a roll of duct tape. It sent the thing flying and it mangled it. And here's what one of these will do to a globe. As you saw, the thing was destroyed. These pack a wallop. And that's just one. That's just one of these targets. If you look at my monitor video, the 17-inch monitor, you can see what more does. I put it in the annotations in the video itself, but I've been told that sometimes they're a little hard to read. I can appreciate that. But the monitor video was 7. I put 7 of those explosives inside the monitor before I shot it. And this is the result. As you can see, it blew the crap out of that thing. Just blew it all to pieces. There was barely enough left to recycle. So, yeah, these are really powerful. The most we've ever used so far on the show is at the Canada Day Special. As you can see here, basically what we did there was we stuck as many of them as we could fit onto a bunch of fireworks and then shot the pile of fireworks and set it off. If you watch the whole video, you'll notice I left this in because I thought the reaction was very funny. We started a small brush fire that we had to use our fire equipment to extinguish. No one was harmed, but that's probably the closest to in danger I've actually felt doing this show so far. Again, I left it in the video because I thought it was kind of funny, me running back to get the fire safety equipment. So that's the explosives that I use, and I'm very pleased with them. I'd use them more, but they're probably the most expensive thing that I use in this series, and I don't make any money from this. I'm just doing it because I enjoy it, because I'm curious, because I like the science behind ballistics, and let's face it, because I want to shoot stuff with a shotgun and blow stuff up with explosives. That's half the reason I have fans to begin with. So what I'm planning on doing is actually going back and looking at all the past videos and looking at the targets that have actually stopped the birdshot and revisiting them with some of these explosives. So I'm saving up for that video series, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So that's basically it. Yeah, that's the equipment that I use. It's the shot, the explosives. I've had one person ask me what kind of camera I use. It's just a basic Canon point and shoot that happens to have video recording capabilities, nothing fancy. So yeah, that's basically it. So I want to thank everyone for watching my videos. Combined, I've almost hit 500 views, which is very exciting. I know a lot of the big channels out there, 500 views, and they get that in the first 5 minutes of their video, but I'm thrilled. So I want to thank each and every one of you that tunes in and watches a guy shoot stuff with a shotgun, takes a look to see what happens. If you like the videos, please absolutely give them a like, give them a favorite. Sharing is the most important thing. If you can share the videos with your friends, that would really, really help this channel grow. That's the biggest thing. You know, word of mouth is what carries you to anything on YouTube. And if you haven't noticed already, we do have a Facebook page. You can find it in the About section of the YouTube channel. And on the Facebook page, we post some pictures of remnants of some of the targets. So feel free to go there, check it out. I make a post there maybe once a week or so. Currently, hoping to get more regular on it. Asking people what they want to see. Making comments on some of the recent videos, that sort of thing. So absolutely come on over. And check out the Facebook page, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and again, thank you very much for checking me out for almost 500 views.
it may be silly to some, but that's a lot to me. So thank you very much, and have a good day, y'all.